Let's hit Whirlpool. I've got those results for you, and it's a giant beat on the bottom line. Whirlpool coming out with $2.15 adjusted earnings. The expectation was for $1, so that's a more than double there on the beat on earnings. Revenue also coming in higher than expected for Whirlpool, up to $4.04 billion. Estimate was about $3.57 billion. Obviously, share price reacting there to the bottom line beat, up almost 6%. Looks like North America-related sales had less of a negative impact than some of the other regions in the world. Whirlpool sells all over the globe. They have seen, they're saying, a significant recovery in demand across all regions in June, resulting in year-over-year global margin expansion. And they are able to drive margins with some pretty heavy cost cuts, which is driving it. Also, just want to mention here on the headlines, they're raising their full-year revenue guidance, expecting now 2020 net sales decline of 10 to 15%. They were previously at a decline of 13 to 18%, and also revising higher their organic sales. I did have a chance to talk to Mark Bitzer, the CEO, about earnings. He did talk to me about pulling off dramatic cost cuts, which is what drove the bottom line beat. He said he's feeling cautiously optimistic. I asked him where the optimism was coming from. He said June, July, and into August all look good in terms of demand. He said people are nesting and they're rediscovering their kitchens and their laundry rooms. And so they are buying a lot of those types of products. He said, though, the cautiousness comes from the fact that the virus is still with us. The impact of tapering of government stimulus programs is still uncertain. And the supply chain, he said, is very fragile. It's an issue we talked a lot about, guys, because, remember in the beginning of COVID-19, the supply chain was a big concern when it was in China. China, they're not seeing a problem. It's places like Mexico, where Whirlpool's CEO tells me he's seen component shortages in Mexico and in the United States. The factories are up and running, and they have been throughout the crisis. But Bitzer was telling me, and this is sort of an interesting glimpse into the manufacturing in this country, they have to space out people more on the line, and they just can't operate at the same capacity levels. People are calling out sick more. I mean, things that are going on in this country that are making it harder. So interestingly, Whirlpool right now is not having a demand problem. They're having plenty of demand for dishwashers and washing machines and refrigerators. But they are having a supply issue, and he said it's just going to be with them and with a lot of these manufacturers throughout the length of this virus.